This is a video on circuit training for boxing and combat sports. Hello everybody, welcome to Boxing Science. In this video, we're going to be sharing a detailed review on circuit training for boxing and combat sports. We're going to be explaining the benefits psychologically and physiologically for boxing and combat sports, but also be telling you tips and strategies on how to optimize performance and optimize adaptation from your circuit training sessions. This is all in line with our brand new program, Circuit Conditioning for Combat Sports, where we're going to share over 50 circuit routines to unlock unstoppable performance for boxing and combat sports. Got a range of different scientifically based circuits to help improve your high intensity fitness, power endurance, your concentration under fatigue, and improve your punch output. Got a range of different circuits that's suited to your needs, whether that's a red zone circuit, bodyweight circuit that can be implemented at any time in any environment. We've got equipment circuits that also target red zone adaptations, but also we're going to be implementing our brand new power endurance circuits. We've also got boxing specific workouts, which include shadow boxing routines, bag circuits, and also pad routines that are designed to help improve your high intensity performance and have a transferred effect in increasing punch output and your boxing specific fitness. To celebrate this launch, we're offering a 50% discount on this program. This is only for a limited time only, so go and check out the link in the description for more details and get your hands on our brand new program, Circuit Conditioning for Combat Sports. So first of all, what is circuit training? Now, if you're watching this YouTube video, you'll have an interest in fitness and in training. You pretty much know what circuit training is. It's basically a sequence of exercises put together, which is based on either volume or work duration with a short rest in between to different exercises. And it can be a range of different exercises. And the reason why people like this so much is because it's getting a lot of bang for your buck. You're working on a range of different exercises, you're working some fitness adaptations, and also it's very time efficient as well. So this is the reason why a lot of boxing trainers use it. They've got busy gyms, they've got limited resources, limited time. Putting the circuit together is really good to get a lot of bang for your buck and also to help improve fitness. This is the reason why I see a lot of old school boxers do it, such as like Mike Tyson, Muhammad Ali. Range of different boxers have used circuit training in the past. However, the old school circuits can end up being quite grueling and not really optimizing physical performance. So when we've looked at heart rates during like a traditional boxing training circuit, the heart rates aren't getting that high. They're relatively fit. They're not that strong in terms of like their strength and force production. So they're not able to produce the amount of intensity going into their circuits that will challenge red zone adaptations or even getting the lactates up to a certain level to train some muscle buffering capacity adaptations. With Boxing Science, we've been doing circuits for many years. So the first foundation of Boxing Science is through our combat conditioning Saturday morning sessions, where we had a range of different athletes, abilities, experiences, ages as well. At the end of each workout, we had to put in a conditioning circuit at the end. From this, we've got a lot of experience putting together hundreds, if not thousands of circuits across the past 12 to 13 years. And we've found ways to try and optimize performance to get that red zone adaptations, which is really vital for improving cardiovascular fitness, improving VO2 max as well, and also adapting it as well to try and improve power endurance as well. And in this video, we're going to share a few tips on how to optimize your circuit routine. But before we get into that, let's talk about some of the benefits of circuit training. So when I talk about circuits and what their benefits are, I have a look at like what happens to performance under fatiguing scenarios, whether that's you're working in the red zone, a high intensity run, whether you're in a hard spar or during a heavy bag session. What can happen from a physical point of view reduces speed, coordination, force production, and muscle tension. These are all really vital, especially when you go into them later rounds in a fight, because you're needing to still be fast, still need to be coordinated, still need to produce high amounts of force to be able to punch hard and punch effectively in combinations. So you're needing these qualities in a really fatiguing scenario. Also, from a cognitive point of view, it can have a big psychological effect being in a fatiguing scenario. It can increase anxiety, reduce concentration. Your perceptual fatigue is really important, feeling how hard that you're feeling it at that time. And then also decision making. When you're in a fatigued situation, you can start making some wrong decisions, and making some wrong decisions in the ring can be detrimental to your performance big time. When we're thinking about conditioning a fighter for performance in the ring, we can't just think of just purely doing adaptation focus, i.e. running, going on the air bike. We've got to think outside the box sometimes. We have to think about how we are actually helping transfer that fitness adaptation into a boxing or fight specific scenario. And we can challenge that speed, power, muscular tension, coordination under fatiguing scenarios during a circuit. Let's say if we're doing a med ball slam, let's say if we're doing a burpee, this is high force production and also coordination. A lot more coordination than just running or just grinding it out on the air bike. It's also really important from a psychological point of view. When you're running and it's going really hard, you try and take your mind to a different place, listen to the music, think about nice things instead of how hard that run is. You don't really have to think about it. It can end up being quite subconscious. Whereas if you're going into a circuit, you've got to be thinking about your form, your technique, concentrating on what you're having to do next, concentrating on how to create that speed and intent under fatigue. So this is the reason why we use circuits. Sometimes we even put circuits with some psychological training as well, doing some blaze pods, doing some concentration drills under a fatiguing scenario. So this is the reason why we like circuits so much at Boxing Science, and this is why you see a lot of our athletes do it. And this is why we put together the circuit conditioning for combat sports program together. So we've got 3 key types of circuits that we do. We've got red zone circuits. This is concentrating on central adaptations. Power endurance circuits, which is challenging our ability to control muscular acidosis, repeating high speed, high force actions under fatigue. And then we've got our boxing specific circuits as well, where we are implementing shadow boxing, bag work and pad work, manipulating volumes and intensities to ensure that our athletes are getting into the red zone. So we're starting off with red zone circuits. So the main goal of these is to improve our ability to work in that red zone effectively and challenging the speed, focus and concentration under that fatiguing scenario, working above 90% maximum heart rate. Like I said before, big problem with circuits sometimes is that boxers are almost like too fit to create a cardiovascular response, and some of the exercise selection is not as optimal. The like grindy exercises, let's say like press ups and sit ups, these aren't going to be cardiovascular demanding to be able to get that optimal fitness response and fitness adaptation. Really important with red zone circuits to make sure that you're getting the exercise selection right. And this is where we're doing very low technical demanding work, either high force outputs or high frequency outputs, high RPM values. So this like high force output would be something like a burpee, med ball slam, but we're also looking for like that to be quite frequent as well. So giving them targets on the burpees, let's say over 20-second interval, try and hit 15 burpees. On med ball slam, try and hit 20 med ball slams within 20 seconds. This is pretty difficult, but you're getting high force, high speed demands very quickly. This will elevate your heart rate into the red zone. High frequency stuff, which is stuff like skipping, high knee skipping, running on the spot, mountain climbers, and even like incorporating some running into there. So that's really vital. What's also important with this is to make sure that your work to rest ratios are done effectively. If you are doing too longer intervals, this will affect the amount of intensity that you'll be able to produce. So we're looking for short work interval, anywhere between 20 and 30 seconds. And then we're wanting to do half rest. So I'd say for a 2-to-1 work to rest ratio. For 30-second intervals, often do 15 seconds to rest. 20-second intervals, we often do the Tabata method, which is 20 seconds on and 10 seconds off. And then the duration of that circuit set is important as well, because if you're doing it for too long, you're going to end up having some sort of muscular fatigue from this, which will affect the time in the red zone and won't make the session as optimal. If it's too short, you won't have enough time to get up into that red zone. So I try and focus a lot of the duration of the circuits between 3 and 4 minutes. Tip and strategy to get up into the red zone is to do high intensity finishes. So making sure that you're finishing off the set with maybe a prolonged repetition. So often we do like high knees for 30 seconds. But also we do a preloading set as well. So we'll do like a 1 minute set to try and get that heart rate up into the red zone, have 10 seconds recovery, and then go into our working set. This preloading set can be something like running on the spot, running on the curve, doing air bike, or even like high knee skipping, trying to elevate that heart rate into the red zone. So that's our red zone circuits. Let's now move on to power endurance circuits. So this is where we're focusing on high force, high speed demands to try and stimulate a lactate response between 10 and 14 millimole per litre. Now, we found at Boxing Science that the gold standard way is to do 2 minutes on, 2 to 3 minutes recovery. However, we've manipulated the volumes and intensities of this over the years and come up with a concept of like doing between 12 and 20 seconds of work, between 40 and 48 seconds of recovery. These high intensity bouts with a longer recovery ensure that you're getting high force, high speed demands into your working set. And then it's enough recovery to make sure that you're able to recover, perform the same intensity, but also not have the lactate go up too high. Because we don't want to have excessive lactate accumulation, because this will make our cells, muscle cells, too acidic and not train that muscle buffering capacity. So with the power endurance circuits, we work between 12 seconds and 20 seconds on with either 48 second recovery or a 40 second recovery. Like I said, we normally do this on the air bike or on the curve, but we can replicate this with high speed, high power exercises. This can include banded press-ups, banded sprints, banded kettlebell swing. We're wanting to create large amounts of muscular tension during this, so using the bands are really good. We can also do some body weight work and some med ball work in here as well, such as like med ball slams and doing burpees as well. So going on to boxing specific circuits, obviously this is not my realm of expertise because I'm a strength and conditioning coach, not a boxing coach, but I've been around in the boxing gyms and I know how boxers respond in terms of like doing their fitness type work. So I'm not telling people how to improve their technique, but how to maybe approach some of their boxing specific fitness drills to get the optimum adaptation out of it. So predominantly, we're going to be looking at red zone adaptations here, so getting towards 90% maximum heart rate. When they're looking for cardiovascular, what I see a lot of like kind of boxing coaches and boxers do is non-stop punching on the bag or non-stop punching on the pads. And this is high volume, high repetition, but it's of submaximal actions. What's really important is that you increase the intensity of this, increasing the frequency of punches, high speed, high force punches. So you can put together in the shadow boxing, bag circuits and pad circuits, you can put together these in intervals, high intensity stages. You can do this continuous between 30 seconds, 30 seconds, 30 seconds of continuous exercises, or you can do Tabatas, 20 seconds on, 10 seconds off, 30 seconds on, 15 seconds off, things like that, to be creating some more high intensity actions. And then making sure that these are themed, whether it's a 4-punch combination, power punches, 2-phase attacks, things like this can help maintain that frequency rather than somebody just going through the motions, hitting the bags. They're having to work in bursts, having to change the levels, having to really produce a lot of power going into their power punches as well. So when you're putting together bag circuits or pad circuits, think about how you can increase intensity, manipulating the volume in terms of work to rest ratios, and also start manipulating the intensity by putting in some themed phases, such as power punches, body punches, 2-phase attack, 4-punch combinations, and things like that. This will increase intensity during your boxing sessions to elevate the heart rate and get more fitness adaptations out of your workouts. Okay guys, so that's the end of this video. If you're wanting more advice on this and more guidance, you should check out our brand new program, Circuit Conditioning for Combat Sports, where we've got over 50 circuits to help unlock unstoppable performance for boxing and combat sports. This includes red zone circuits, power endurance circuits, and boxing specific circuits. And this is very integratable into your boxing and strength and conditioning training. We're launching with a 50% discount. This is only for a limited time only. Make sure you go check this out on the Boxing Science website. The link is in the description. Don't miss out on getting your hands on the Circuit Conditioning for Combat Sports to help unlock your high intensity performance. Okay guys, so that's the end of the video. Thank you very much for watching. Hopefully see you on the next video at Boxing Science.